Hey guys, Sirak here. Today we'll be doing an overview of one of my Lord of the Ring maps, the Battle for Middle-earth. More specifically, the Evil Men's overview. In my previous videos, you can learn about the major guidelines of the map, Mordor, Elves, Goblins, Rohan, Isengard, and Gondor overviews. In this video, I will be focusing on Player 7, the Evil Men. At the start, the Evil Men has their town center in the far right of the map, in Rune. Rune also houses their siege workshop, and it should be noted that they do not have any castles in Rune, but they do have a couple of fortresses to keep them safe. On the far south of the map, they also have the lands of Harad and Umbar. Harad and Umbar will open at minute 15, and you will get 2 villagers that will spawn in this area. Umbar, as you can see, hosts quite a few docks to go ahead and produce your Black Fleet. For the heroes of the Evil Men, you'll have the King of Rune, which is in Rune, as well as the Rune Captain. You'll also have access to the 2 blue wizards, LOTR and Palando. You will also get the Black Serpent, as well as the King of Harad. Orange has one of the few heroes that, if they die, nothing will happen. So should the Rune Captain die, nothing will actually happen in the map. As long as the King of Harad and the King of Rune are in their respective domain, as long as they don't move out of Rune and Umbar, the Evil Men player will receive golden tribute to ally themselves with Mordor. So they'll receive a tribute in gold to go ahead and do this. This will actually start the timer once the Harad and Rune have opened after minute 15. Should any of the 2 wizards die, they will give an attack buff and armor buff to all the forces of good, so they should be kept relatively safe. Lastly, if the Black Serpent dies, Rohan will get one of their HP buffs, and it should be noted that the town center in Rune, should it get destroyed, the dwarves will also get their HP buff, and should all the castles in Umbar and Harad fall, the Gondor will get one of their HP buffs. Now onto the spawns that the Evil Men get. So some of them will require some quests to destroy some of the buildings, or some of them are more simple by bringing some units to an area, or researching some technologies. The easiest spawn for the Evil player to get is to bring the 2 wizards, Palando and Alatar, from Rune to Umbar, and have the Imperial Age research. Doing so will enable the Pirate Corsairs to spawn from the tavern. The next easiest spawn are to get the Soldiers of Rune. To obtain them, you'll need to research the Imperial Camel technology, as well as the 2-handed swordsman. They'll start the spawn as long as the town center in Rune is still up. Now to obtain the stronger spawns for the Evil Men player, the first one you'll do is you'll have to go ahead and kill the fortress here in Cairnglass. Doing so will enable Rune to go ahead and start spawning the Wainwriters. The next one would be to kill the fortress of Dol Amroth, which will start a Mumakil spawn in Harad. And these Mumakils are incredibly powerful elephants that cannot be converted. Some of the other quests for Orange include raiding the coast of Gondor to get quite a few resources, and of course securing naval superiority. Killing Pelargir not only stops the resources from Pelargir to Gondor, but it also gives you a nice landing point so that you can go ahead and harass Gondor. We've already talked a little bit about Dol Amroth, but killing them will also give you a nice boon of resources. The same can be said about the elves here in Adhelon, which would mean that you'd go ahead and remove 2 of the docks from the elf player, as well as getting a lot of resources. The last spot that they can go ahead and raid for lots of resources is the town center down here in the Grey Havens. Doing so will give them about 5,000 gold and 5,000 gold to all of the evil players on the map. The last quest will require the aid of the Isengard player. So if the Isengard player is able to go ahead and get Saruman all the way from Isengard to Rune's town center over here, alongside with the 2 wizards, Palando and Alater, Both Isengard and the Evil Men player will get some very strong one-time only units. So Isengard will get some Warg Riders, while the Evil Men will get some Elite Haradrim in Harad. And lastly, as with Gondor and the Elves, the Evil's Men player is also able to go ahead and build an outpost here on this flag to go ahead and claim Tolfalas to go ahead and help with the naval superiority. As for their buffs, should the Evil Men or anyone else go ahead and kill King Dane as well as the Iron Hills, both of these will give player 7 one of their HP buffs. The next two is that you kill Theoden as well as Eomer, you'll also receive an HP buff for each of those kills. You can be sure that although you're not close to Rohan, as Gondor will stand between you and Rohan on the many fronts, you can also be sure that the dwarves should not be underestimated, especially with their chieftain technology. The main strategy for the Evil Men is to play harassment with the other players, whether by using their fast units, or go ahead and support stronger pushes with either their elephants or extra siege. As I'm sure you'll go ahead and figure out that they either have some very powerful elephants or their own siege weapons, but rarely have access to both at the same place. The power of the elephants, especially with an HP buff or two, can be quite hard to stop, but I will let you know to beware of the monks as they can go ahead and get converted. Thankfully, there's only 2 monasteries on the map, one of them in Minas Tirith, the other in Rivendell. So they'll have to take quite some micro and planning from the good players to go ahead and stop your elephant push. Thankfully, the elephant spawn from Dol Amroth will not be able to go ahead and be converted. But if allowed to build an elephant army, Side of Good will definitely tremble beneath its footstep. Ships can also be another avenue to the unsuspecting good side. As you can see here, past at Helon, you can go ahead and start raiding the coast of Gondor, where most of the goods economy will go ahead and be unprotected most of the time. That's it for the Evil Men's. I'll go ahead and see you next time with an overview on the final player, the Dwarves.